4. Welcome to Currency is Our Currency, people. I'm one of your hosts, Angel Bay, with the beautiful Jamila Albay, aka
How to
How to
Mama?
Mama, with our resident astrologer in the building, Odin Constellation,
I'm
breaking
in the
down
building.
energies of this month, people. Let's get into it. You heard?
Yep,
All right.
yep.
Yeah.
Odin Constellation. How's everybody doing though? How's everybody been experiencing this new 2021 energy?
Islam. You know what? The energy from myself has been really crazy. A lot of crazy people come just being crazy around me. Like
Oh yeah.
I am
Uh-huh.
not here for that. But
Yep.
they're getting crazy around me. And I mean, I feel like I'm in the Matrix, when you lean back like that, and I'm like, Wonder Woman, I got to block all the BS. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
I do know that it's something going on according to the stars that, is Saturn ruling right now?
Yep. Saturn's playing a big part.
Okay, so Saturn's ruling right now, and I know that there's just a
Uranus.
lot of energy. So, I'm trying to become a master at, just shape shifting and moving the energy away from the negative energy away from me, ushering the positive energy toward me. Hello, Islam, John,
Right.
hey, Islam, peace. Yeah. So please, Odin, what now? Are you going to tell us what's going on according to the stars in general, and then tell us maybe something that's going on according to the stars that we were born under, or like what are you going to do tonight?
Well, the energies I'm gonna go over, there's two ways to look at them: collectively and individually.
Okay.
So as I explain them, because they affect us as a whole, as one of what we're all experiencing, especially when it comes to like the world stage and the government and what they're doing to us as a group,
Mm-hmm.
because we have a lot of this Aquarius energy. We're going through, and Aquarius represents groups and friendships, and it represents the collective as a whole, not
Okay.
just one person. So when I explain them, they're going to relate to you and things going on in your life specifically in different areas because we're all different. It affects everybody differently depending on where you are energetically and then collectively. So you could look at it from both perspectives.
Okay. So is the moon in the seventh house and Jupiter's aligned with Mars? Is there going
No.
to be peace throughout the planets and love? Is love going to fill the stars? That's what I want to know.
Remember, we don't have the age of Aquarius right
Oh,
now.
okay.
We
It's not the
we
age.
we in this we have these Aquarius like themes, but there's a lot of tension. This 2020 energy we just came out of is like the restructuring side of it, like wanting to step into our own individuality. We have a big stellium in the sky, but let's talk about it. So that before we got into February, with February 1st, before that, the one thing that took place that's affecting the energies of February is Mercury retrograde on the 30th January. So Mercury went retrograde, so that's right now that's why thinking is a bit chaotic right now. That's why things aren't clear. That's why people are seem crazy. And the signs that it affects is Gemini and Virgo the most, because
I'm Virgo and you're Gemini. Oh my gosh. Okay. That
right,
explains it.
right, it affects
Oh, you're
Virgo
talking about
and
you and
Gemini.
I, Jamila. That part. Yes, my
Right,
bad.
right. Because that's your ruling planet. So a lot of times when we have Mercury retrograde, it affects you guys feel it the most. And that's Geminis everywhere. They all start thinking backwards, going crazy, experiencing, things, people acting weird. And then so after that, we have February 1st where Venus moved into Aquarius. So can you go to the chart, Angel?
Sure can. Let's see. What did I just do? Um, I did some funky stuff. There we go.
Okay. Here's the chart.
Okay. So this is February 1st, right?
Yes, sir.
What
All
today?
right, cool.
Oh, this chart is
No,
February.
no, no.
This
This
is
is February. So
the
we're
chart.
talking about the
He's starting on
beginning
the
of
first.
February.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just starting on the first, so we can look at what's picking up. So yeah, on the first, if you look on the chart where you have all those planets there in Aquarius, that's that Aquarius stellium that we're looking at. And then if you look on the left side of the chart, you'll see it showing you all the planets in Aquarius, where you see the sun, you see Mercury, you got Mars there, you got Jupiter, and you got Saturn. Now, before we get into that, the highlight of the month is going to be on the 17th. It's an energy between Uranus and then you have Saturn, which are going to be squaring each other on the 17th. That's actually something that's going to take place 3 times throughout 2021. So that energy is very heavy and causes a lot of disruptions and then changes. And sometimes it's unwanted change. And it's about innovation. Saturn deals with restriction. So one, it's like freedom, the new power versus the old power. So that's this tension that's building up for this month in February. That's the first of those squares. We're gonna have 3 of them. So this one's gonna kind of set the tone for what's to come with the next ones. So this one's probably not gonna be as bad as the other 2. That's gonna be in June on the 14th. And then I think the next one is December 13th or 14th. It's in the middle of December. Right. So right now we have Venus on the chart right there. Or well, that was the first entered Aquarius. So that puts a focus on relationships. And that's 0 degrees, which is a critical degree, the early degrees. So right now our focus is on our group relationships, our finances, our values, how we're relating with our personal relationships, the relationship to yourself. And this is an energy of wanting to break free and have more freedom of expression. This is a little bit of detachment too, ever since the first. So relationships have been kind of rocky because you have Mercury in retrograde. So communication is kind of off between people, especially with groups. There can be things that we need to relook at and go over. Personal relationships is the same thing. Old situations popping back up because it's a Mercury retrograde. So right. So now we're gonna go fast forward to the 4th.
One more. All right.
We're there.
At the 4th.
So take it to the actually take it to the 5th. There you go. Yeah, so if you look on the chart, it starts on the 4th, which is today, and tomorrow. You'll see on the chart right there, once again, look at Venus. Venus will conjunct Saturn on the 4th. So now, when we have Venus and Saturn at a conjunction, that's kind of like a reality check. It's almost like the authority figure coming to visit to give you a reality check about something or an action you've taken, or it's also has something to do with finances too, and making a decision between polarities of being responsible or dealing or indulging in your pleasures. So that's kind of like a day where you need to make a responsible decision. Do I go to work today, or do I call out because I want to do this because it makes me feel good? Or it's just
that's the 5th.
Say it again.
Is that the 5th you're talking about?
That's the 4th, 5th, and kind of the 6th too.
I called out from work.
You already in it, honey. You did it.
But that's the funny shit, because that's how the energies work. Sometimes the energies, you can feel them a few days and it will set you up for it. Like you'll just be set up. But yeah, that's basically a day where yeah, that's a day where you're like, oh, should I go to work or whatever. So that's a reality check. So that's facing reality, but it has to do with your relationships also. So some people could be going through facing something that has to do with their relationships, especially with Mercury there, something coming back from the past. Yeah, that's good. And then let's fast forward to the matter of fact, I see Chiron. Well, you don't have it on your chart. Go. Can you go up? can you go up on the screen real quick?
Chiron.
Towards the arrow. No, go up towards the arrows. Click on that wrench.
Let me let y'all see what's going on here.
Now press asteroids. Go to Chiron and click on. And press refresh.
All right, we got something going here.
Now you see how Chiron's on the screen now in Aries?
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's Chiron. Chiron is right there in Aries. And then
Right
it's
here, yeah.
making, right, that Chiron's making a sextile to Saturn. So that's actually positive, but that's a good day to deal with your wounds because Chiron deals with our wounds. So if you have any old wounds that pop up that day, that's a good day where you're able to restructure those wounds and actually face reality, and you're able to be practical about them because it's a sextile. So it's kind of assisting you, even though Saturn does deal with lessons and will teach you a lesson.
What day is that, Odin? Because I got some wounds to deal with. Oh,
That's the 5th and the 4th, 5th, 6th.
Oh, okay. That's right now.
Okay. When you called out, right?
Yes, I sure did. Like, oh, can't come to work. It was very easy. I didn't even think twice. Can't come in.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, not sorry though.
Right.
Right.
No childcare. Can't come in. Right.
I hear you. Now let's go to the 7th or the 8th, actually.
6 is Bob Marley's birthday. FYI.
You said the 7th, right?
Yeah, or actually go to the 8th because it's the 7th and the 8th, but just do the 8th.
There we go.
All right, so if you look there on the screen, right in the Aquarius, where we have all that energy taking place, that big stellium, you got Mercury right on top of the sun. So that's Mercury conjunct the sun. So that's basically just a good day for anything mental. So if you want to, say like a show like this, that's a good day for speaking something, like writing down some information. That's a good day for sending like emails out to somebody. You can organize events under that energy. Mercury is retrograde, so you're kind of reviewing things around then. But anytime you have Mercury and the sun blending energies, that's a good day for like announcing or writing ideas or note taking or studying something, reading something. That's basically what that is.
That's the 7th.
Yeah, that's the 7th.
7th and the 8th.
Yeah, so like say if you want to send out a letter or to somebody or email or something important, that's a good day to do that on. Positive energy.
Okay. 7th and the 8th.
But that can also be a day, because it's a conjunction, that can also be a day of mental like anxiety. Like you can overthink with that energy too, because it's still a conjunction. It could be a yin and a yang depending on where you are right now. That's how it will affect you. So that is a Mercury retrograde, so we're not thinking clearly. So that energy could be, you might not be able to think clearly and focus on ideas. But usually when you have a conjunction like that, that's a good day to put out ideas and do like a podcast or something like that. But like I said, it depends on where you are in your energy. Because at the end of the day, you can still take control of the energy. You can change it.
Can't be created or destroyed. You better get all you can.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Now let's go to the 10th of the month.
10th. I hope y'all taking notes.
If not, rewind.
Take notes. Taking notes.
And you know what? If you miss anything, you can always go to Currency on YouTube. This will be up here. This will be posted on YouTube. Okay, go.
So February 10th, the day before we have a new moon, we're going to have Mars squaring Mercury. So anytime you're dealing with Mars and Mercury at a square, that's a day where you don't want to really get into any arguments with anybody because you could get washed up and end up arguing with somebody. You could say things unexpectedly without thinking. So watch your words on that day. You may wake up and just not have any patience for people. That's it's like mental stress with Mars and Mercury because
Mm.
Mars deals with aggression. Mercury's our thought processes, and Mercury's retrograde. So this is even more stress. So this is like, so you wanting to speak and yell and getting into argument and disagreements over ideas with other people. And remember, it's Venus
Mm.
is in Aquarius along with Mercury. So this is going to have things to do with our relationships. It's going to have things to do with our groups that we're a part of because it's Aquarius, and our hopes and our wishes also. That's also Aquarius energy. And this is all pertaining to the future, dealing with us wanting to break free. And you have that, if you look at Uranus and Saturn, they're getting closer to their conjunction. If you look, so I think Uranus says 7 and Saturn is 6. Or is it the opposite? Yeah.
Hmm. You have it's
Yeah,
yeah.
Saturn's at 6 and Uranus is at 7. So they're in a conjunct, they're at a square right now. So,
Mm.
but they're not exact. The big conjunction happens later in the month, which is where a lot of astrologers are paying attention to that because, you know, these are two big planets. And usually in the past, when they squared, it created major changes and events.
Oh,
But
yeah.
let's go to the 11th of the month.
Let's go to the 11th. I'm feeling like I need to stay in the house for the month.
Yeah, February is going to be very intense. So it's like,
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm going to do hermit crab.
Yeah.
So we're here on the 11th. So on the 11th we have Venus. Well, that first of all, it's the new moon in Aquarius. If you look on the chart, you see the moon and the sun is conjunct on right on top of each other. New moon is always new beginnings, fresh starts, new innovation. On that day, you could just be feeling more unique and free and wanting to be yourself. You know,
Yeah.
that can be good or bad. Especially when it pertains to your relationships. Also, Aquarius deals with technology and you know, medicine, and that could have to deal with vaccines. So around all that energy there, you could hear, you know, pay attention to the media. You can hear a lot of talk about vaccines and them trying to vaccinate everybody because Aquarius deals with the collective. And that's a huge stellium in that energy. And that's a new moon. So this could be like a new initiation by the government because Saturn's in Aquarius trying to still restrict us. Uranus is what wants to break free. Uranus, you look at Uranus as the people, Saturn as the authority. And then
Mm.
if you look there, also on that new moon day, you have Venus conjunct Jupiter, which is very positive. That's a very optimistic energy. That's actually good luck because Venus and Jupiter are called the great benefics in astrology. So they're very positive planets. Venus dealing with finance, love, and Jupiter dealing with abundance. So that's a good luck energy. That's a day where something unexpected that you wanted can happen out of nowhere. That's also some people might come into some luck with money that day, especially it being a new moon. So something new and refreshing could manifest that day.
The
But
11th?
that's on the 11th. That conjunction is a good. That's actually good to play the lotto with.
Okay. Why not? Okay.
Right. But Mercury's in retrograde, which is tricky. So it's like playing the lotto. It's like, you got to be careful with that. Retrograde kind of slowing it down. But that usually, if Mercury, you know, in a Mercury direct motion, that Jupiter conjunction with Venus, that's a optimistic, good luck energy. Usually, it shows up unexpectedly, like you don't even see it. It just something positive just happens. You're like, oh my god, what? Like, or your positive conversation, somebody offering you like an opportunity to do something. It's a new moon day, so anything could happen. That can also be overindulgence in pleasures because Venus represents pleasures, Jupiter expands. So that Venus conjunct Jupiter can also be overindulgence. and things that you love.
Stay away from chocolate.
Right.
Well,
Right.
wait a minute. That's right around Valentine's Day. Are we gonna talk about that part?
Well,
The
actually,
whole
all this Venus, this energy stressing out relationships. That's why it's funny.
And break up this month and try to put it back together next month because
Right.
yeah, it's crazy.
But what I will say about Venus when in Aquarius, especially when it entered Aquarius, Venus has to do with feminine energy, has to do with women empowerment, and especially in Aquarius, because Aquarius is about innovation and fresh starts and new beginnings and new ideas. So Venus and Aquarius, you see a lot of women stepping into their power or wanting to take charge or and things like that. So it was a big focus on feminine energy with Venus,
Yes, honey. Yes, and we
especially in
are in the
Aquarius. So it's like
matriarch
new beginnings,
Well,
right?
that's necessary because the world is out of order because the women are not taking power. I mean,
They're not in their rightful place. That
we're
part.
supposed to be in power. We are supposed to be in power.
Right. And if you look, you
According
see
to the
like you
that
see
part.
Kamala. She's the right now you got this Aquarius stellium. For you look at things like seeing a female vice president, like women stepping into their power.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like things like that.
Mm.
So yeah, next 12.
Yeah, so let's get to the 12th. The 12th is not, it's pretty much the same thing going on. What I will say about the 12th is it is the Chinese New Year.
Oh, that's why my sourcing agent isn't answering the phone. Yes. Hi. Okay. Makes sense.
Hi,
Right.
Issa.
Chinese
So,
New Year. Year,
and I think that's the year of the ox.
year of the ox.
And that's funny because that symbolizes like in the Chinese zodiac, the ox is similar to the Taurus zodiac, which deals with agriculture and stability and things like that. And that's kind of like what we're going to be dealing with this big conjunction with Saturn and Uranus in Taurus, Saturn in Aquarius. Our agriculture is going to get shaken up. Our finances, our values, and money. And also you see things right now taking place with the crypto market because Mercury deals with communication and how we communicate. Aquarius dealing with the digital energies and electronics. And you see things already getting shaken up with them. So pay attention to like Bitcoin and stuff like that heading into around the end of the month.
Bitcoin went up 3,000 points in one day. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Insane.
I cashed out. Thank you, Bitcoin.
But pay attention to all that at the end of the month with this square coming up. And we'll see what happens.
So do you think it's going to go down or it's just going to move?
Something could get shaken up. It could go down. It's a square. So square is usually bad, but it could be bad for one or the other. Maybe crypto could do bad and Bitcoin could rise, or Bitcoin could rise and crypto, we don't know.
We'll see. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I'm already on the 13th, y'all, so I kind of went ahead early.
Oh, okay. So yeah, 13th is Mercury conjunct Jupiter. That's also good for like playing the lotto. Because remember, Jupiter is good luck. But that's also good for just sharing ideas and teaching. Mercury's the mind, Jupiter's optimistic. That's pretty much what that energy is. It's pretty much similar to the other Jupiter Mercury conjunction. So let's forward to the 17th is where this conjunction is taking place.
I was going to ask that question.
Yes, this conjunction is taking place on the 17th. We got to be careful, right?
So key points when we're looking at, let's look at this. There's a lot going on here with this conjunction. So first of all, it's Saturn and Uranus, both conjunct. If you look, Saturn is the authority. Uranus is liberation, wanting to break free. And it's also unexpected changes and shifts, things coming out of nowhere. You have the moon that day right on top of Uranus, which is also anytime you have the moon and Uranus conjunct, that would be That's like unexpected, volatile emotions coming up out of nowhere, or something out of nowhere popping up unexpectedly that we didn't see coming.
Mm.
And Saturn is what's trying to restrict us. Saturn's like the restrictions and the rebellion. Well, Uranus is trying to rebel against the restrictions. And then if you look at the sun is 29 degrees. That's a
Mm.
critical degree. Every time we
Yep.
see 29 degrees, remember I told you about critical degrees, you usually see things critical take place. So you have that major conjunction with the 29-degree sun, with the moon also conjunct Uranus.
In
So that's
Taurus.
heavy,
What does that
heavy,
mean?
heavy energy.
Ay, ay, ay.
And then that's gonna be going all the way through the end of the month, basically. So we're gonna see what takes place. When we get to the 18th, the sun goes into Pisces.
Oh, Pisces. Get along so well with Pisces.
Now this
Mm.
is what's interesting because when the sun moves in, is it in, you're at the 18th?
Yep. It says 0 degrees in Pisces now.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, when the sun gets into Pisces, that's like a change in the mood. So that's like kind of after that conjunction, it's kind of like, oh, something crazy happened. Now there's a shift in the mood. See, when the sun gets into Pisces, now we're more focused on being focusing on our intuition. We're focused on being more selfless. You're focused on your imagination. So we're kind of more emotionally understanding, and we're willing to help around that time. The whole mood begins to shift.
Mm. Because
So
I
this
feel
is
like
like,
we have learned lessons at that critical junction of the conjunction. So it makes sense to act on the lessons that you've learned.
exactly. It's like it's telling a story. All these planets are giving telling us stories and teaching lessons. Then the energy starts to shift. So like now we're in the sun's in Pisces. So now we're like, okay, now we're reflecting on the things that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
So all these shit took place in the early middle February. Then we had that conjunction, and we're still going to be going through it around that time. So we're going to be reflecting. This has to do with your personal life, wherever you have those energies in your chart. That's how it shows up for you. And this also has to do collectively. So that's just a change in the energy. So right there, yeah, we're just more empathetic when we get into the suns in Pisces. But also be careful because that's also a delusionment when the sun
Mm.
gets into Pisces, because Pisces creates illusions sometimes. So things may not be very clear, especially Mercury's not even direct yet. It's about to go direct, but Mercury's still retrograde. So we're still could be foggy and unclear about certain things.
Hmm.
So let's go to the 19th.
Okay.
We're here.
So yeah, so on the 19th, if you look, you'll see Mars and Venus are at 22. So Mars right there in Taurus, and then Venus is in Aquarius at 22, conjunct Jupiter. And that's Mars and Venus, that's not good squaring Venus. That's not good for relationships. That's relationship tension. That's also sexual frustration because Mars deals with the Martian energies of sex and like the force and the passions behind sex. Venus kind of deals with the emotional perspective behind sex. So that's kind of built up sexual frustration, or frustration within relationships. But
Hmm.
there's sexual tension there, or Martian energy tension.
Martian. Okay.
Yeah. And that's also like overindulgence also.
Hmm.
Overindulgence because Mars and Venus is pleasures. So that's a day for overindulging.
Okay. My
And
sister.
women that day can Venus, women that day she if it's a square, a woman could look at her man and say things like, "Oh, I need more. I'm tired of this shit." Like, and start looking at other guys and wandering eyes because they're just upset for the moment.
Oh, nothing.
Wandering eyes. Is that what you said?
Yeah, the wandering eyes, because it's a square, so you know you're a little pissed off at the man husband, so then you start to be like, I need more than this bullshit that I'm getting right now. That's that type of energy. That's like a sexual frustration. Like if you can imagine that type of energy, it's like I need fuck. Like you just start wandering, looking at other things because you don't feel like you're getting enough of what you need.
I look at my Quran. That's what I do. I just keep reading the Quran.
Girl,
Right,
please. You in a
right.
world by yourself. Now I'm just saying.
That's what I do. Right. It's crazy. It's real in the field. It's real crazy.
Hmm.
Okay, where are we at now? The 19th. And we have a question when we're done.
Okay. So now we're gonna go to the 20th and the 20th, 20th, 21st actually. Go to the 21st.
Oh.
So 21st, basically you see Mercury goes direct that day. So now we're out of this crap of this retrograde. This is when your thinking starts to become a little bit more clear, as you can see. It's not really that clear because when Mercury first comes out of retrograde, it's still in something that's called a shadow period. So when it's in a shadow period, that's going to last until probably like the middle of March, maybe.
Oh.
So it's like things are starting to clear up. It's not fully out of that. It's not Mercury's not moving at its usual pace. It's still like slow. It's still slow. So it's like picking up. But this is when thinking starts to become more clear for us.
Hmm.
It's like
First.
things start to make sense, just like when we go back to talking about how this is a story and everything that we dealt with. So now Mercury's at a retrograde, so we have the sun in Pisces now, so we feel more sympathetic towards things. We're understanding. We probably had some crazy conversations with that conjunction going on, something volatile happening, or we're having to deal with something. And now we feeling sympathetic and thinking more positively, thinking forward. Now we're figuring out how to move forward, because when Mercury's in retrograde, it's introspecting. It's bringing back things that needed to be re-looked at and worked on. So when it comes out of the retrograde, it's like, all right, I figured out, I thought about all that crap, I got all that crap out. Now how do I move forward with what I came up with?
Well, I must say that coincides with the entering into the spring phase of life, of rebirth, seeds that were planted before the winter, and they're now starting to get that energy in the soil. They're starting to like realize themselves, like, okay, it's about time for me to start germinating and processing and growth beyond the soil, and then before they reach, the expansion of coming out and blooming.
Right.
So it makes sense. It all makes sense.
Right. Now the 24th.
Thank God it's a short month.
Yes, honey.
Ooh, what did they do? Give it to our people, honey. Yes, come on, take the shortest month.
So the 24th is just basically Mars trine Pluto that day. So Mercury's direct now. Mars trine Pluto is just a good day for like a powerful transformation. Or finally, if you have something that you've been wanting to transform about yourself, something that you've been, stepping into a certain power that you've been slacking on, that day you can harness the energy, because Pluto deals with power and regeneration and death. So with a trine to Mars, it's like you're destroying the bad side to whatever that thing is that you're dealing with, whatever issue it is, and then you're stepping into your power. So it's like, all right, so you can use that day to basically do something that you've been really, really slacking on, and you can begin something new.
Okay.
Yes, honey.
It's a power. It's taking action.
Okay.
Where you at, ladies? The Moabite women. Yes, honey. You
And
already
now
know
go
what
to
it
the
is.
25th of the month. 25th.
Let's get to the 25th.
Yes, we're almost to the end of the month. And we're
Oh,
So the
here.
25th.
wait, before we do that, so would you say that the 24th would be a good day it's the day to take action? That's what you said, right?
To transform something, take
Trans-
act like a powerful transformation.
Okay. So would that be a good day to like take an exam that you've been needing to take for a very long time?
Yes, of course.
Okay, the 24th of February.
But if you feel comfortable and you've been studying for that exam, do it that day. And you feel like you have that energy built up to tackle that, and you feel like you're ready, do it that day.
Okay. All right. Thank you. 25th? I'm sorry.
Yeah, 25th is so now we had the sun enter Pisces, so now this is another change in the energy. So now we have Venus entering Pisces on the 25th. You see Venus there at 0.
Yep.
So
Right.
now
Sure.
with right, so what's interesting about Venus and Pisces is it's an exaltation point. So certain signs take the energy away from the planet. So just like how you have planets that rule signs, for instance, Venus rules Taurus and Libra. That's that Venus is home. Venus likes to dance there. It's like, oh, I love these signs because it resonates with the energy. But when it gets into Pisces, Venus becomes exalted. And exaltation is like being in Disney World for the planet. So
Okay.
so it's kind of it's for I'll give you an example. This is a good example I like to use because I have an exaltation in my chart and I have Mars in Capricorn. So now here's a good example of this. Mars rules Scorpio and Aries, but it's exalted in Capricorn, which means that when it gets in Capricorn, it feels like it's in Disney World. It's like, oh yeah, because Mars deals with aggression and force.
Mhm.
That's what Aries likes, and that's what Scorpio likes. Scorpio has force. Aries has force. Scorpio is just two different force. Scorpio's the feminine side of Mars, that feminine Martian warlike energy, and
Mhm.
Aries is that masculine side. So when you look at Aries and Scorpio, Scorpio's kind of like the sniper in the tree, waiting to attack in the dark.
I know that's right. That's my daughter. She will
Right. That's
sting
Mars.
you. 20
That's
years
Mars.
later, you getting stung.
Right, that's Mars when it's in Scorpio. Then when you got Mars and Aries, it's kind of like just the warrior that wants to go ahead and fight. It's like, yeah, I'm right here. Like it's ready for the challenge. It's ready. It just attacks. Now let's imagine. Let's take the three Aries, Scorpio, and Capricorn and Mars. Right. Imagine three gangsters or three mobsters. Right. The Aries, the Mars and Aries mobster will be the guy that always slices someone's head off
Mm.
without thinking about it. Like he'll slice your neck. The Scorpio Mars will get you when you least expect it.
Mm.
So
Mm.
it'll catch the person. That'll be that person that sits behind the scenes and has the sniper in the tree. The Capricorn Mars is like the leader of the group. So this is the person that can control his
Ma-
power. But
Master.
it's like that. So a picture like the guy with the coat, the black coat up like this, and he has the power and he's telling the Scorpio and Mars what to do, but he has the power. You don't see him kill anybody, but he's giving the orders because he has the power to build and destroy. So when you think of an exaltation, that's Mars exalted in Capricorn.
Okay.
So it feels like it's at this. So that's my Mars. My when I get very into my passions, it can get out of control. But I also have the ability to control it. So when Mars is in Capricorn, Mars can control himself. But if
Mm.
you push Mars, it can destroy or it can build and it can control. That's why the Capricorn would control the Aries and the Scorpio and tell them do this, do that, and he can just sit back while they do all the action and be the leader.
Oh my God.
Mm.
So now when you look at Venus exalted in Pisces, it's in a beautiful way, which can be good and bad because when you have Venus in Pisces, it can be an exaltation being stuck in fantasy or delusionment. So if you have someone that has their Venus in Pisces, this person could, for instance, if somebody has a Venus in Pisces and they like you and you don't like them, they could keep telling themselves that you're into them, but you're like, I don't like you. But in some way, they're like, nah, you like me, you want me. I know you do. You
Delusion.
want me. Don't. That's a Venus, and I know that for a fact because I actually had a person that had Venus in Pisces, and he was like that. He thought that this girl wanted him that did not want him. I kept telling him, no, she doesn't. And he didn't believe me. He kept writing her letters and she kept getting annoyed, telling me how she's annoyed by him and all. It's crazy, crazy. But that's that Venus and Pisces. But that's also a time where we feel extra sympathetic, extra self-sacrificing, and extra caring.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
Mm.
that was the 25th.
Right. Now the 26th.
There we go.
So the 26th is basically you have the sun sextiling Uranus.
Let's get a
So that's a good day to basically try something new, do something innovative, express yourself in a different way, tap into some type of creativity. But that's also a day where you could be more rebellious and stuff like that. You could be more stubborn.
put the sword away that day.
Yeah, right.
Well,
But
that
that's
would,
a day. That's
that would
that's
be
a
most
day to
people's
try.
tongue,
But
though.
that's a day to try something new, though.
Okay.
But you
And
heard
that's
me.
also a day where ideas from the cosmos could come in, like ideas of awakening and insight. Because Uranus deals with the conscious mind, and Mercury deals with our thinking mind.
Hmm.
So it's two different minds. It's like the Uranus is like the conscience mind, the God mind, the stuff we get, like the downloads we get, that type of thinking. And Mercury is our mind, how we think and how we perceive things.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
And then the last alignment of the month is the 27th, which is this is the full moon in Virgo.
Oh my goodness. Virgo, that's me. I have a very big thing going on the 27th.
Oh wow! See, there you go. Perfect.
It's a festival. I am a member of on the board of a sickle cell foundation, and that's the day we're having our festival, and we're going to be talking about innovative natural supplements and things that day that help sickle cell. So please tell me.
And that's exactly what that full moon is all about. So anytime you have full moons, it's always about emotional release, culmination, or manifestation of something. Virgo is the sign of healing. It has to do with spiritual healing, physical healing. It has to do with medicine, exercise, yoga, surgery, anything that deals with healing and health and work and being of service to other people. And it also deals with the details. Exactly. It
Right.
deals with paying attention to the details. So this is a time also to where now we're just looking at all the details of everything that we gathered from the beginning of the month with Mercury in retrograde, and we're it's coming out now, and we're just trying to organize everything, trying to reorganize and get ready to begin something new as we walk into March.
Okay.
But it's basically it's all about healing. That's what the full moon in Virgo is all about. Emotional healing. So that event it landed perfectly on that day, and that's your full moon because you're a Virgo, and there you go. And that's how astrology works sometimes. Sometimes it's just by divine timing.
I love astrology. I need to be more in tune
Yep.
with so I can avoid these pitfalls. Because without the Quran says without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength. The Circle 7 Quran. And so I mean, I've been walking into landmines and pitfalls and treachery and all this stuff, but I also know that that's my conflict and that's the foe. These are the things that I have to deal with that are going to strengthen me. So
Right.
I just want to know when to expect them. like what? Like okay. So yeah, that's why I love when you come on here, Odin, because you set me
Right.
up for the month. So now I'm ready. I'm Wonder Woman. I'm ready.
Listen, you start going back and you write things down and you start tracking things. The more you do it, the better you get at it too, especially if you're studying astrology. I always tell, like, go to charts like this, especially start with your chart. Like, start picking up your chart. If there's a full moon coming up in your sign, look at your chart, see where you have Virgo in your chart, and then that's where that area of life will be. If you don't understand what it means, you could ask me, and then we'll talk, and I'll break it down to you.
Absolutely. Well, Odin, how can people get in contact with you if you want to have your own personal reading with Odin? Odin comes on once a month for sure, sometimes more, but definitely once a month in the beginning of the month. Odin comes on and he sets us up for the month, what we should be looking for according to the stars, how we should be moving according to the stars. So if someone wants to get a personal reading so that they can know, because this is collectively how we should be moving, but how you want to move personally, how you should be moving personally. If you want that type of reading, you can contact Odin at Odin Constellations on IG, Odin Constellation on IG. And then what is your email address if somebody wanted to contact you and set up an astrological reading?
So yeah, the Odin Constellations is the IG, and the email is odinhealer@yahoo.com. Odinhealer@yahoo.com.
Yeah.
Odin, Odin
Yeah.
Healer at Yahoo. So
Yep, healer.
okay.
And I think I might want to come back on next week because I got something I want to go over astrologically that's gonna show you guys how things line up with the energies that took place last year. I want to go over some degrees and some alignments that took place with some current events that we experienced last year, so you guys can get a picture of how astrology lines up with current events.
And I must say, this is partly why we didn't have the show last week, people, because the energy was intense. Can you go over that, Odin, please?
Last week, right? I was like, yeah, no.
Right.
Not a good day.
So what did happen last week, Thursday? You remember, Odin, energetically?
Oh, last week Thursday, what happened?
There was something that was going on. Was it the moon? I think.
Was that the
I would have to. Actually, I don't even remember. I have to look. Why don't you look on the chart right here? You got the chart in front of you.
Because I think the 28th was a full moon. It was a crazy. I think it was a full moon.
That was last year.
Was it January 28th? I think.
Oh, January 28th. Yes, it was. That was actually the full moon in Leo.
It was crazy.
Yes. Yes, that was my full moon actually. I actually enjoyed that full moon because I took advantage of it. I already knew it was coming. So what I did was it was, Leo has to do with creativity. I'm an Aquarius sun, so that's my polarity. When you had a full moon in Leo, the sun was already in Aquarius and the moon was in Leo, which is I'm a full moon baby. I was born on a full moon. So I took advantage of that. I was like, okay. I was like, I want to do something creative. So what I did was I called my studio engineer and I booked a studio session that day to record a new song that I've been working on for a while. So that energy was there. And then Jupiter was conjunct the sun that day also, which was very motivational and very positive because Jupiter's that optimistic energy. And the song came out wonderful. It was great energy in the studio. So that was how I took advantage of the energy. Instead of getting washed up by it and letting events, I was like, all right, I'm gonna set up a day. And that day was the day he told me to come in, which I was like, oh, okay, perfect, because that's the day I wanted. He was like, oh, you could come Thursday. And I was like, yes. And then I came from 4 to 7, which equals 11. So I was like, 4 to 7, 11.
Get it, boy.
And then 120, and then 128, January 28 is 11. 1, 2, 8, 11. So 11, 11.
Get your numerology on. Get it cracking.
And that was a portal all day long, and you walk right through it. Yes, sir.
That's how I set myself up. I use these energies to benefit me.
Well, that's
Yes.
why we need you, because that's how I need to be setting myself up. See, when I talk to Odin and I know what's going on with Odin, Odin tells me how to move according to the stars, then I know, I'm like, okay, I will not fall into the pitfalls.
Right.
I will be ready for the people, like Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. I need my things on my wrist, my cuffs. Right. Ward off the evil.
Yep. But yeah,
I just
keep track of those key dates. June 14th and December 13th, I believe, is the next Saturn Jupiter squares. So pay attention to those points, and pay attention to the energies after, because there's going to be a lot of shakeups, finance, and there even with this Uranus and Taurus. I think this is like the beginning of us. I've been seeing the Moors talking a lot about us having to grow our own food and stuff. This is kind of like the beginning stages of that. We may even be going back into lockdowns, because we had that conjunction back in 2020 in March. So
yeah, but I'm ready.
Lockdowns might come back.
Got my seed. Got my seeds. My heirloom seeds. Right, 17,000. Got my seeds.
right. As well. I got my herbs and my seeds, vegetables.
There you go.
It's no joke, right?
I need the land now, y'all. She needs lands. In the meantime, she's ready.
Right.
Let's make mention on something I paid attention to today. Mother Kai, she was on House of Reawakening with Dr. G a few weeks ago, but she was on a live today, and she had mentioned the reset. And she said something that struck me about how the reset is a setup to get you to pay attention to the word reset. So you're going to start back over the bullshit that they had for us to begin with. And she said, we as people, we need to stop and then start. And stopping is they shit, and starting what you desire, your intentions, what you want in your life, and proceed. So with that said, yes, I want to share with the people how important it is to nationalize yourself.
Right.
Don't
recontract
with yourself, your nation. Know self, get to know self, understand self, and declare who you are before all men and nations, and that part, because it's quintessential. And that's part of the stopping, because when you declare your nationality, you are stopping and telling them enough. I don't want anything else you have to give me. I'm through with you. I saw you, I see you, and my third eye is all the way open. Bye, never coming back again. And I'm stopping you, and I'm starting the new, which is my nationality and my everything else that comes with that part. Yes.
Don't contract with these folks. Do not contract. Everything is a contract. Everything.
Yes, that part. And with that said, I'm gonna put the email for currency in the description box. If anybody wants information about nationalization, how to nationalize, where to go, how to get protected in these times, because we spoke about everything, and it's a new day, it's a new order, and we have to collectively come together and protect ourselves, know who you are spiritually, energetically, astrologically, the whole gambit. And that's the stopping and starting. Right. Yes, honey. My pin as well. My flag, yes. Moors. And Odin got his flag behind him. Yes. Declare. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Proclaiming yes. Oh, and Shika Nika is going to be doing an hour-long principles of birthright and nationality. So that's going to be on the 20th. I'll let you know more. It's going to be on a Zoom. I'll give you the link as we approach the 20th. But a lot of people are very, very new to the science, to more science, or you just know something's not right, and when you find out about more science, it resonates with you. So, just like a baby will be drinking the formula or breast milk or whatever, and then older children eat Cheerios and blah 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 blah. Chica Sneaker will be breaking it down for the people who are just coming into the science and wanting to know, how do you nationalize? And of course, you can email. Angel, you gave the email. You put it up there.
I'm gonna put in the description box. Yep.
Okay, so in the description box, the email will be there. Reach out to us, and because the birthright belongs to all of us. Nobody
Right.
sell you your birthright. Don't get a $3,000 package or a $300 package from anybody selling you something that belongs to you. Okay?
Mhm.
Just please don't do that.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
But with that said, there is a fee sometimes that you have to, because I had to pay a fee for this document here because with this comes with certain protections. It comes with information. So I mean it's some, I see both sides. That, let me just say that I see the reasons why people have fees for their services, but I mean, do everything with decency and order and your logic of sense, like that part. If you feel something is not right in your spirit and you feel that this person's trying to bamboozle you and that part, then run, swipe left and just run. But like there are things that you had to, I had paid for this, but I also, with this, I have access to certain things now that are afforded to me with that. So I'm just gonna say learn, study, pay attention to your energy that you're feeling about certain things, and go with your gut, go with your conscious, go with your spirit, and by all means, because there are different groups, there are different organizations, there are different people doing different things, and some resonate more with others. And I've been around a minute to see those, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't pay for my proclamation papers. I, joined the temple, and there are dues, and the prophet does speak about, the dues that you should be, paying to the temple. But I'm talking about, there are people out here with packages, $300, $3,000, selling these packages to people. It's paperwork, and paperwork is not going to save you. You have to know how to enforce that paperwork. So
And on your square.
you have to write the square. You see the four corners of the paper, right? You got to be able to stand on your square. So I don't have a problem with people. A servant is worthy of his hire, but what I'm saying is that this is ours already. Birthright and nationality belongs to us. So nobody sell that to you. Somebody can, charge you for their time to help you, whatever. But $3,000, that's,
that is kind of egregious. That is, yeah.
Horror story. And I know RV Bay, it's like $50, to get all the paperwork done. So, of course, that's absolutely reasonable. Islam, Deborah Bell.
Yes, that's one of my beautiful sisters that I've met along my journey of life.
That's
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes. Thank you.
You say somebody had a question?
Yes. Let me see. Well, the question was when should they take an exam?
Oh, that's when
that question earlier. Did you want to do a quick reading before we ended for anybody?
what type of reading? Like
Moon sign.
Oh, moon, yeah, sure.
Moon. Okay, so we have Florette, we have Nurse Flo, and let's see. So what do you need? You just need the birth date?
Yeah, just give me the date of birth. What's the person? What's their sign?
March 8th.
Okay, it's Pisces. What year?
What's the year? She not want to tell nobody she year. That's gonna be it's not gonna be very helpful. It's not gonna help you very much. Okay, what's the year? I don't know. She don't want to give it to you. Deborah, oh, let me see. Hi. Oh, 65, 1965. All right. Well, all right. 65. March 8th, 65. Okay, so gonna get a moon sign
So
read.
this person is a oh, my phone's about to die. This person is a Taurus moon.
Okay.
So this has to do with when you have a Taurus moon, you can overindulge in pleasures such as food. You like to snack and eat. You could be focused on things like culinary. When you get upset because the moon rules your emotions, you become fixated. So it's kind of hard for you to kind of to see other people's point of view. So that's a lesson you have to learn as a Taurus moon.
Okay. And you want some more of where that came from? Contact Odin Healer at yahoo.com.
Mm-hmm.
Or his IG, yes.
Right. Or Odin Constellation on IG.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow.
That's if you want a specific reading about your Taurus moon, because everybody's Taurus moon is different depending on what house it's in.
Okay.
But usually the basic things like most all Taurus moons are fixated in their emotion because Taurus is a stubborn fixed sign. It's and it rules art and beauty. So Taurus moons also these people could like to sing or be into music because Taurus deals with the arts. So things like culinary, art, anything that has to do with beauty, working in restaurants, because it also deals with pleasures, dining, wine, sensuality, sex.
All the good shit. I'm sorry.
Taurus is the polar opposite of Scorpio, so Taurus and Scorpio have that polar opposite similarity.
So that would be the positive side.
Taurus is sensual, and Scorpio is sexual and intense. But both sexual signs. Sag moon and rising. Oh, you're a truth teller. You speak the truth. You're a little too blunt for people sometimes. And people see you as a teacher, as a Sag rising.
Did you say anything positive? Well, the culinary thing is the culinary.
You like I said, for you specifically, I would have to see where your Taurus moon is, what house it sits in. But Taurus moons are very down to earth and very sensual people. You probably have a beautiful voice when you speak, or you could sing. There's positive things to it. I was just throwing out the random Taurus moon placements. But if you want a specific thing for you, a reading for you specifically, then me and you can talk privately.
Yes, contact Odin Constellation, Odin Healer at Yahoo, or Odin Constellation on Instagram.
I just added it, the email on the scroll, people. So there we are. Yes.
Odin Healer, yes. Okay, well, this was another beautiful show. I'm so glad. Everything was so crazy for me today, including getting to this house from the car because we didn't pick up any snow. So there's like 2 feet of snow everywhere you turn. So it's quite a trek. And it was so crazy. But coming in here, I feel so calm right now. I feel beautiful. I feel very relaxed. I feel like I'm going to go to bed and have a great night's sleep. And I didn't feel that way. I was
Mercury's retrograde. So travel's chaotic. Even for me, I've been getting to work a little bit late, but it is what it is.
Oh, it is what it is.
You
What
just
it
have to,
is.
when you have retrograde, you just got to plan ahead. That's it.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good to know. I have to plan ahead. That's why
Deborah says, yeah.
that's why I called out from work.
That's it.
Yes.
All right. Well, anything else anybody else want to say? I think we did a good deed tonight.
We
Yes,
did.
indeed. Yes, yes, yes. So thank y'all for watching. Currency is our currency. Check out, we have an Instagram as well. Let me run that right quick. I don't know. Where is it?
Please
Hmm.
subscribe
Yes.
to the channel if you're new
I
to
don't
the
even know. Oh, here it is. Yes,
subscribe.
currency is our currency on IG. Yes. And I'll be posting some beautiful pictures that I'll be taking while traveling. I've been a photographer while traveling. I just do it. It's fun to me. But anywho, yes.
Yes, subscribe to this channel. If you like the video, like it, and if you have something to say, leave a comment. And
Don't forget to share.
That's it. Holla.
And
Peace.
peace.
Islam.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank y'all. Till
Islam.
next time.